Hi everyone, my name is Gautam Gupta and I want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Universal Fundamentals. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my personal predictions for the month of June 2024 for each of the 12 ascendants and moon signs and how the planetary alignments will be affecting you personally. I'll be discussing the positions of Jupiter, Saturn, the nodes Rahu and Ketu, Mars, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun. Now, before I begin the discussion, I do want to invite everyone to please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com, where you can learn more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer. You can also check out the various services that I offer, and I will be leaving links down below so you all can check that out in more detail. I also want to remind everyone that I practice sidereal Vedic astrology and not Western tropical astrology. So with that being said, I will now begin giving you my predictions for June 2024 for each ascendant and moon sign. So if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Aries, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets transiting your second house of Taurus from June 1st through the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your second house. And this is going to provide you with major financial opportunities that will lead you to success. This is going to empower you and give you a lot of confidence about yourself and abilities. And any family gatherings will go relatively well with this transit. However, I will say that transiting Venus will be combust the Sun with this transit, so just be careful with your speech and the way you're handling your money. There can be some temptation to overspend or say things without thinking what the consequence will be, so just be mindful of that. Then, from June 14th through the 28th, we will have transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun all in the sign of Gemini. And these planets will be transiting your third house. And this is going to put a big emphasis on communication with younger siblings. For the most part, I see a lot of peaceful and harmonious interactions with your younger siblings, and it will be very casual and relaxed overall. The only issue, once again, I see is that transiting Venus is still combust the Sun, and this can cause some minor disagreements in the relationship. But the good news is that Venus will now be moving faster than the Sun, so this is going to also give opportunities to resolve these disagreements as well. This is also a time where I see opportunities for short distance travel as well. And anything to do with social media projects and working on short stories or articles will have a focus when it comes to this particular transit. Now, the next important transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 11th house this month, and it will stay there until March 29th of 2025. This is going to continue to help you with your income sources. Because Saturn is in Aquarius and in its own Mutrikon sign, you will continue to see a slow and steady increase in your income. So take advantage of this transit and make sure you do an adequate job with your financial planning, as transiting Rahu in your 12th house is causing you some expenditures. You will also continue to meet and attract many mature and influential people who can help elevate your career and social standing to a whole new level. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that Rahu will continue to remain in your 12th house, while transiting Ketu will continue to remain in your 6th house until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to prompt you to reflect on issues from your past that have been bothering you for a while. This is going to continue to give you opportunities to do a lot of self-reflection, and this will give you great insight and clarity so that you can deal with these issues and move forward in a healthy way. Also, if possible, try to avoid long distance traveling. But if you must do so, just take extra caution when you travel. And please try to control your expenses as well, as Rahu in the 12th house can make you spend more than usual. This is also a transit where you need to continue to take care of your health and well-being, as you can be feeling stress around this area. But because transiting Jupiter is also aspecting your 6th house for the next year, health matters will start improving as well. This aspect can help you receive information as what you can do to better improve your health, and this can mean getting proper medical advice. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your first house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to give you tremendous drive, ambition, and willpower. You will have an extraordinary amount of confidence during this transit, as this will alleviate a lot of the issues you've been dealing with the Rahu-Mars conjunction in your 12th house. And this happened during the month of May of 2024. So if there are any strenuous tasks that you have been avoiding or unable to do lately, then this transit will most definitely help you get things done in the most efficient and effective way possible. This is also a great transit for taking charge and initiative. If you are in a leadership position, then this is going to help you tremendously. People will take notice and cooperate with you regarding what you have to say, so make sure you effectively take advantage of this transit. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Taurus, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets transiting your first house of Taurus from June 1st through the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your first house, and this is going to give you a sense of self-confidence and empowerment like you've never felt before. This will feel like a new beginning, a new chapter in your life, and you're going to find yourself surrounded by many opportunities for growth and success. However, one thing I will mention is that transiting Venus will still be combust the Sun, so please make sure you are taking proper care of your health and well-being as Venus is your chart ruler. Then, from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your second house of Gemini. And this is going to continue to empower you. You will find that financial matters are working in your favor, and any family gatherings, for the most part, should turn out well. However, once again, Venus is still combust the Sun during this whole transit, so make sure you're being careful with your speech and communication. Please think things through before communicating, as this will ensure that you are properly understood by others. And with Venus combust in your second house, please take extra care of your finances and spending habits, as there can be temptations to overspend. Now, another transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 10th house until March 29th of 2025. And this is going to continue to provide steady growth and progress regarding your career and employment. You will see things continuing to remain stable in this area. Also, your reputation and social standing will also remain stable and steady throughout this month and for the rest of the Saturn transits. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Rahu will continue to remain in your 11th house of Pisces, and Ketu will continue to remain in your 5th house of Virgo until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to continue to provide you opportunities to meet many influential people that can help you progress in life. These people will have valuable insights which can help you grow materially. There can be a focus on your older siblings and friends, as they may require more of your attention at this time. And because Jupiter is now in your first house and aspecting your 5th house, this is going to alleviate some of the issues that you might have been dealing with regarding your children and investments. You will find that your children are going to be much more cooperative and understanding, and this will help deepen your relationship with them. You will also find that your investments are making some progress at this time as well. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your 12th house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to make you feel more grounded about the things from your past. You will have the ability to deal with any past issues that have been haunting you with courage. Now, Mars in the 12th house in general tends to increase expenses. However, because it is transiting in its own multiple sign, these expenses will be utilized for good cause. And this could actually inspire or motivate you to give to charity. Also, with Mars being in your 12th house, make sure you're getting enough proper sleep, as there can be some minor disturbances. Try to avoid any major screen time before sleep and keep your bedtime routine as simple and quiet as possible. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Gemini, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets transiting your 12th house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your 12th house, and this is going to bring you an enormous sense of healing and peace like you've never felt before. This is a transit where I see you will have the most sound sleep out of all the ascendants who are going through this conjunction. This is ultimately going to revive and rejuvenate you so that you will have so much more energy throughout the day. This is also a good transit for some long distance traveling if that's what you're interested in. However, Venus will still be combust the Sun, So some of the 12th house issues can be a little problematic, but it won't be anything that you can't handle. So don't worry too much about it. Then from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will all be in your first house. And this is going to make you more communicative and talkative than usual. These planets love to be in Gemini, and since Gemini is your rising sign, communication is going to be a very big focus point for you. However, because Venus will continue to combust the Sun during this transit, you may find yourself becoming a bit indecisive and unsure regarding what you want out of life. Take this time to think things through and don't rush through any major decisions. It's okay to take things slow and one day at a time. This will eventually give you the clarity needed to make the right choice. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your ninth house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And you will find that your relationships with the father and higher teachers will remain distant and quite conservative throughout this transit. You will also find that your luck and fortune will grow at a slow and steady pace during this year. And any higher education courses that you're taking will take a lot of effort and attention. So make sure you have enough time to dedicate to these endeavors. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Rahu will continue to remain in your 10th house of Pisces, and Ketu will be in your 4th house of Virgo until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to continue to provide you opportunities for major career success and growth. There will be opportunities for a promotion or even a job change that provides you satisfaction, meaning, and purpose. Your social standing will also be very prominent as well. Now, with Ketu being in your 4th house, this would have caused some issues around your mother, home, and domestic life. But because transiting Jupiter is now aspecting your 4th house, things will start to and continue improving regarding your 4th house matters. You will become closer to your mother, and any issues related to your home and vehicles will become much easier to handle. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your 11th house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to really enable you to get out there and meet as many people as you can. This is an excellent transit for social events as you can meet people who will help you in so many ways. This is also an excellent transit for bonding with male friends and siblings. You will find yourself very well supported by these individuals, so use this energy to accomplish your goals, wishes, and desires. You may also find ways to increase your source of income this month, which can be very beneficial for you financially. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Cancer, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month is that there will be a stellium of planets transiting your 11th house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your 11th house, and this is going to provide you many opportunities to meet and network with influential people that can help take your life to the next level. You will find that your hard work and dedication has paid off, as this will give you many great gains in terms of income and prosperity. This is also an excellent time for social gatherings with friends and even your older siblings. You will find yourself making excellent connections during this transit. However, I will say that transiting Venus is combust the Sun during this whole transit, so some of the results can be temporarily diminished. However, don't worry too much about this, as Venus will only be combust in your 11th house for just these 11 days. Then from June 14th through the 28th, we will have transiting Mercury, Venus, and Sun in your 12th house of Gemini. And this is going to give you some opportunities to do some foreign traveling. This is also a great transit for learning and getting deep into spirituality and meditation. You will find that sleep becomes very important to you, and you will make some changes to ensure that you get enough proper rest. Now, one thing I will mention is that transiting Venus is still combust the Sun, so some of the effects and results related to your 12th house matters can be a bit diminished. However, don't worry about this, as it will only be temporary. And this transit will also give you opportunities to resolve past relationships and learn from the things that did not work out for you. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 8th house until March 29th of 2025. So if you've been expecting any inheritances or unearned wealth, realize that there can be some delays. However, because Saturn is strong in its sign, you will eventually reap the rewards. This is also a great transit for studying and getting involved in any metaphysical sciences. However, you may feel as if your intuition is temporarily blocked. If that's the case, then meditation and going within will really help with this block. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Rahu will continue to remain in your ninth house of Pisces, and Ketu will continue to remain in your third house of Virgo until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to put an emphasis on long and short distance travels. You will find yourself continuing to travel more often to learn about spirituality and things that can help you grow in an internal level. Now, I will say that while spirituality is going to remain an important part of this transit for you, it is important to stay grounded and realistic about your beliefs and make sure no one is trying to negatively affect or influence your current belief system. Stay strong and stay in your conviction regarding what you believe in. Also, higher education will continue to be an important focus point for you. And it is quite possible that your father might need some of your attention during this transit, so be aware of that. Now, since Jupiter is finally aspecting your third house transit-wise, this is going to help alleviate some of the issues that you've been dealing with regarding your younger siblings. You will start finding common ground and will be able to form a better connection and understanding with them. Also, if you're thinking about doing any social media ventures or publishing any short stories or articles, then this transit will help you do so. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your 10th house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to really accelerate your career and social standing. You will have the utmost drive, ambition, and courage to do whatever it takes to excel in your career. This will be your best transit out of all the signs because Mars gets directional strength in the 10th house. And furthermore, it is in its own multiple sign. Also, if you're up for any promotions and it's been a while since you got your last one, then chances are this transit will work out very well in your favor. I also see your reputation and social standing doing extremely well for this transit. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Leo, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets transiting your 10th house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your 10th house, and this is going to provide you many opportunities to grow and prosper career-wise. If you are up for a promotion or raise, then this transit has greater chances of supporting you. This is also great for new career opportunities that can help you grow professionally and financially. And for those of you who are retired or not in the workforce, and you happen to be involved in any community service activities, then this transit has the ability to put you in a leadership position. So take advantage of any opportunities that come your way. However, I will say that transiting Venus will be combust the Sun throughout this transit, so there can be some temporary obstacles and delays regarding your career prospects. But don't worry, as you have the ability to overcome them since other transits are strongly supporting you. Then, from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your 11th house of Gemini. And this is going to open up opportunities to connect with your social network circles. You may find yourself attending more parties and social events that can really provide you a sense of entertainment and fun. This is also a great transit for connecting with friends, older siblings, and influential people. However, since transiting Venus will be combust this whole transit, some of these effects can feel a bit diminished and not as strong as you would expect. However, I do see you managing to enjoy yourselves with this transit despite this difficulty. Now, another transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 7th house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this means that relationships with your business partners and significant others will require a great deal of duty, commitment, and sacrifice at times. So it is important to stay grounded and practical in your relationships. This transit will show you the reality of relationships and what you need to do in order to make them long lasting. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that Ketu will continue to remain in your second house of Virgo, and transiting Rahu will continue to remain in your eighth house of Pisces until May 29th of 2025. And financial matters have been a huge focus for you. Earlier in the year, you may have felt quite limited regarding your financial situation. However, the good news is that transiting Jupiter is now aspecting your second house, which is alleviating some of the difficulties in your financial situation. You will find yourself having more opportunities to make money, and this can be due to your improvement in your career and your work. Then, with Rahu being in your eighth house, this will continue to activate your interests in either metaphysical studies, occult sciences, or psychology. Use this energy to go deep within, and you will learn so much about this world that is beyond your imagination. I will also say to please be as transparent and clear as possible when it comes to your joint assets and in-laws, as this will help prevent any misunderstandings. However, I do see a potential increase in joint assets during this transit. And the final transit that I would like to discuss for Leo ascendant or moon is that transiting Mars will be in your ninth house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to really bring out a surge of energy and enthusiasm when it comes to any learning opportunities. This is an exciting transit to go on any long distance travel and learn about spirituality and anything just for fun. This transit will give you the energy, drive, and motivation to travel, and you will really enjoy it. You will have a very individualistic approach when it comes to exploring the world around you. Take this time to embrace all the experiences you are getting. You will also find yourself more focused and determined in your higher education studies, and relationships with the father and teachers should go well during this time. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Virgo, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets in your ninth house of Taurus from June 1st through the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your ninth house. And this is going to open up your mind when it comes to spirituality in your higher education courses. You will find it easier to learn these materials, and you will enjoy the learning process because of its easiness. This is also a great opportunity to take a quick long distance trip if that's what you're planning to do. And you will find yourself getting along with your father and teachers quite nicely with this transit. However, I will say that transiting Venus will be combust the sun this whole transit. So while there may be temporary issues that can arise, you will still be able to enjoy the benefits of this transit due to the other strong planets that will be in your ninth house. Then from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your 10th house of Gemini. And this is going to put a big focus on your work and career. This will be a good transit regarding your social standing and reputation. But you do have to be careful because Venus will be combust this whole transit. So make sure you're on your best behavior and make sure you're sticking to your commitments because people will take note of this. And if you do anything that's away from the truth, then there could be some consequences due to this combust Venus transit. So just be mindful of this and you should be fine. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will be in your sixth house of Aquarius up until March 29th of 2025. And this is going to really provide protection and strength around your health. You will do very well health-wise, and you will, for the most part, be protected from any major illnesses. Also, any issues with coworkers, employees, and your work environment will be pretty much non-existent. You should be able to navigate any issues with ease, and you will be extremely focused and productive in your workplace. You won't have to deal with much opposition with this transit. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Ketu will continue to remain in your first house of Virgo, and Rahu will be in your seventh house of Pisces until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to continue to put an emphasis on yourself and your relationships. Now, earlier this year, you may have felt a bit disconnected and isolated from the world due to Ketu being in your first house. However, because transiting Jupiter is now aspecting your first house, this is going to make you feel a lot more confident, inspired, and empowered about yourself. You will start having more clarity about your life's purpose and goals, which will help you move forward. However, with Rahu continuing to transit your seventh house of Pisces, your partners may continue to demand a lot of your attention. And this can be business partnerships or with your significant other. So it is important to have clear boundaries so that all needs are met and respected. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars will be in your eighth house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to open up opportunities to go deep within and learn about any metaphysical subjects that may interest you. Your drive and ambition will best be utilized in these subjects, so take advantage of any learning opportunities that come to you during this transit. This is also an excellent transit for studying psychology and self-analysis if that's what you're interested in. There can also be a sudden increase in your joint assets if you're married, and or your in-laws can be doing quite well with this transit. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Libra, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets going in your eighth house of Taurus from June 1st through the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your eighth house. And this is going to really activate your interests in metaphysical, occult, or psychological studies. This will really open up your mind in these areas and expose you to things that are beyond this world. This transit also means that your spouse or significant other can be doing well financially, which can result in an increase in joint assets. This is also a transformative time for in-laws as well. However, because Venus is combust the sun, some of these eighth house matters may not be fully experienced to its potential. But because other planets are strong in the eighth house, you will still enjoy a lot of the benefits that come with it. Then from June 14th to the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your ninth house of Gemini. And this is going to put an emphasis on your father, teachers, higher education, and spirituality. You can have some opportunities to travel and learn about spirituality, which can help broaden your mind in a positive way. You will find yourself becoming more focused and attentive with your higher education courses if you're taking any. This is also a transit where I see you being in more communication with your father and higher teachers. However, because Venus will continue to be combust this whole transit, just be careful not to get into arguments or discussions that become too heated. Try to listen to all points of view before asserting your opinions and ideas. This will help ensure harmony and cooperation between all parties. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your fifth house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this is going to bring a slow and steady growth in your investments and other speculative ventures. This is also a time where I see you maintaining a strong, committed, and serious bond with your children. And this will be a stable year in this area as well. And then Rahu and Ketu will continue to remain in your 6th and 12th axis until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to help you out immensely when it comes to sorting out any conflicts within your workplace. You will find that you have an advantage in this area, which can help you progress career-wise. This is also a time where I see you continuing to be more health conscious and aware. And therefore, this will definitely improve your health. Now, ever since last November, you may have had some sleep issues due to Ketu transiting in your 12th house. But because Jupiter is now aspecting your 12th house, this is going to help you sleep better at night. You'll find the proper solutions needed to give you better sleep. And foreign traveling becomes more prominent and likely for you. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your 7th house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to put a big emphasis on your business partnerships and relationships with your significant other. You may find that your business partners or significant others becoming more assertive about their needs, wants, and desires. Now, this can make you feel a bit distant or aloof from them depending on how they're communicating this to you. So it is important to stand in your ground and make sure all parties are being properly respected and accounted for. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Scorpio, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets in your seventh house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. You will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your seventh house. And this is going to put a really big focus and emphasis on your business partnerships and relationships with your significant other. You will find yourself dealing with the relationship matters in a very practical and methodical way, which can help you create better understanding with each other. And if you have people who are working under you, then chances are you will have a much easier time delegating tasks to them and they will be able to deliver. However, I will say that transiting Venus will be combust this entire transit, so you do have to exercise patience and caution in your relationships and business matters. But as long as you're tactful and diplomatic, you will be able to navigate any difficult situations with ease. Then, from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your eighth house of Gemini. And this is going to put an emphasis on your in laws and joint assets. You may find yourself more in communication with your in laws, and your partner can be talking or strategizing about what moves to make regarding your joint assets. And for the time being, this will activate an interest in learning about psychology as well as metaphysical and occult sciences. However, because Venus will continue to be combust this entire transit, please be careful to not make too much of a drastic move when it comes to your joint assets or any conversations with your in-laws. Try to keep things as simple and straightforward as possible, and things will work out for you just fine. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will be in your fourth house of Aquarius. And this could mean that your mother may need more of your attention than usual. But I do see your relationship having slow and steady growth throughout the year. Remember, Saturn will be in your fourth house until March 29th of 2025. There will be a lot of commitment, duty, and sacrifice that you will put towards your mother if you're age appropriate. But this will ultimately strengthen your bond and understanding of one another. And if you're thinking about making changes to your existing properties or vehicles, or if you're thinking about buying something new, then realize that these changes will take a long time to occur. But ultimately, things will work out in your favor. Now, the next transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Rahu and Ketu will continue to remain in your 5th and 11th axis until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to put an emphasis and focus on your children, investments, as well as any large groups, organizations, friends, and older siblings. Your children will continue to need a lot of your attention throughout the year, so make sure you're making proper arrangements for that. On the upside, your investments should continue to do well and grow with Rahu being in the 5th house. Now, ever since last November, you may have felt a bit disconnected with your older siblings, friends, and your involvement in large groups and organizations. However, because Jupiter is now aspecting your 11th house, you will start finding that getting along with these people or groups will be a lot easier. You will have an easier time building connections and deeper relationships that can create long-lasting understanding with one another. So take advantage of this transit while you can. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars will be in your 6th house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to really give you the motivation, drive, and ambition to take care of your health. Health matters are going to drastically change and get better for you with this transit. So if you were previously sick before, then this transit will give you the vitality to get better. It's possible that you will get the proper medical advice or treatment, which can improve your situation. This is also a transit where I see your ability to deal with any workplace issues regarding coworkers and employees will work out very nicely in your favor. You won't have to put in too much effort in navigating these issues as Mars does extremely well in the 6th house. Furthermore, it's in its own multiple sign. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Sagittarius, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month is that there will be a stellium of planets going over your 6th house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your sixth house. And this is going to really put a big focus and emphasis on your health, well being, and your current work environment. You will find that coworkers and employees will be a lot more cooperative and supportive towards you in this transit. And you're going to be in great health and shape while these planets transit your sixth house. The only thing that I will mention is that Venus will be combust the sun. So even if your work environment and health is going well for you, you do have to be careful to not take things so lightly. Make sure you're putting in proper effort to maintain your work relationships and health. Then from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your seventh house of Gemini. And this is going to put an emphasis on your business partnerships and personal relationships with your significant others. You will find yourself in communication with these people a lot more, and you will be discussing ideas and thoughts on how to improve your current relationships and even take your business or career to the next level. However, because Venus will be close to the Sun this whole transit, you do have to be careful and mindful of making any hasty decisions that are not practical or reasonable. Make sure you take the time to discuss with your partner the pros and cons of each choice and decision you're making. This will ensure that you make the best use of this transit and that you don't allow the combust Venus to make irrational decisions. Now, another transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your third house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this is going to continue to be an outstanding and favorable transit for you. Remember, malefic planets do very well in the third house, and this is going to continue to give you the courage, drive, and ambition to accomplish whatever it is you set your mind to. This is a transit where your vitality will remain at an all-time high. So use this energy to accomplish the things you haven't been able to do so for a while. You will make tremendous progress with this supporting transit. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that Rahu and Ketu will continue to remain in your 4th and 10th house axis until May 29th of 2025. And this will continue to put an emphasis on your home and career life. You will find that your mother will be needing more of your attention, and it is important to address any unresolved issues so that you can move forward in a healthy manner. Some of you may even think about moving or changing residence at this time. Then, with Ketu in your 10th house, you may have felt disconnected or unhappy with some of your career prospects since last November. However, because transiting Jupiter is now also aspecting your 10th house, things related to your career and work environment will start to improve for you. You will find that circumstances around the workplace start working out in your favor. Maybe your coworkers or bosses are more supportive of your endeavors, or you find a new work opportunity that aligns with your purpose and values. Also, your reputation and social standing will start to improve and get better. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your 5th house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to really open up your analytical and logical thought process. You will find yourself becoming more calculative in your decision making, which can be extremely beneficial and helpful to you. This is also a time where I see you and your children becoming super active together. For the most part, your children are going to have a lot of drive, energy, and ambition, and their energy may end up rubbing on you, and this will be a good thing. Your children will be doing quite well with this transit. Just make sure they're not overly hyper or excessive in their behavior. If your ascendant or your moon sign is in Capricorn, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets in your 5th house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your 5th house. And this is going to put a really big focus and emphasis on your children and investments. You will find yourself becoming more closer and connected with your children with this transit, and your investments will be doing quite well. In addition, I also see you becoming more creative and artistic with your work or entrepreneurship endeavors. However, because transiting Venus will be combust the sun during this transit, please be careful not to get too out of control in your investment decisions. You may be tempted to be overly invested in a particular area, and this can work against you if you don't plan carefully. Then from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your sixth house of Gemini. And this is going to put an emphasis on your daily work routine, dealing with coworkers and employees, as well as your health and well-being. You will find yourself more communicative with your coworkers and employees. And this will allow you to get things done within your workplace very nicely and with an analytical and logical approach. You will also be attentive and proactive regarding any health matters. However, because Venus will continue to be combust the sun, you do have to put in extra effort in order to maintain harmony and cooperation with your coworkers and employees. So just be mindful of that and things will be okay for you. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will remain in your second house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this is going to continue to provide slow and steady growth in your finances. You will see a gradual increase in your bank balance, which is going to provide a sense of stability. You will also see that your family relationships remain cordial and committed for the remainder of this transit. This is also a transit where you will be quite reserved and conservative with your speech in general. And this is a good thing because people will take your demeanor seriously. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that Rahu and Ketu will continue to remain in your third and ninth house axis until May 29th of 2025. And any social media ventures that you have been doing will continue to do well and work in your favor. You will have excellent communication abilities, which can help you get your message across very effectively. This is also a time where you will do a lot of short distance traveling, and you will be dealing with any issues that you have with a younger sibling pretty effectively as well. Just make sure things don't become too out of control or argumentative. Now, ever since last November, transiting Ketu has been in your ninth house, and there could have been some issues or struggles regarding your father, teachers, or any higher education courses that you've been taking. It's possible that your father's health may have declined a bit during this time, but because transiting Jupiter is now aspecting your ninth house, things will start improving with your father, teachers, and your higher education courses. You will find yourself becoming a lot closer to your father, and you will have an easier time dealing with your higher education courses. And the final transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars is going to be in your fourth house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to put a big emphasis on your domestic life, mother, and things related to your real estate, property, and even vehicles. This is going to prompt you to take specific actions when it comes to resolving any conflicts within the home. And you will be very assertive, initiative, and dynamic in this approach. However, just be careful not to come across domineering or aggressive, as this can actually backfire on you. But if you tactfully address these issues, then you will definitely come out on the winning end. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Aquarius, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets going over your fourth house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your fourth house. And this is going to really put a big focus and emphasis on your home and domestic life. You will find yourself getting along very beautifully with your mother during this transit. This is also a time where I see you may get into decorating or making your current residence more beautiful and appealing. And any family gatherings you have during this transit will go smoothly. Just remember, however, that Venus will continue to be combust the sun this entire transit, so just be prepared for any minor setbacks or delays regarding fourth house matters. But don't worry about these minor setbacks because you have other strong planets that are going over your fourth house, which will allow you to effectively deal with these situations. Then from June 14th through the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your fifth house of Gemini. And this is going to put an emphasis on your children, creative pursuits, and investments. You will find yourself engaging in many intellectual and stimulating conversations with your children, and this can be a really fun experience for you. You will feel more creative than usual during this transit. So, if there are any art projects or writing pieces you want to work on, then this transit will help you unleash your creativity. Just remember, however, that transiting Venus will still continue to be combust the sun this whole transit. So don't overwork yourself because this can result in burnout. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your first house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this is putting a lot of pressure on you. You feel as if you're responsible for many of the situations in your life this year, and this can be very time consuming. However, by committing to these responsibilities with dedication and sincerity, you will reap the biggest rewards in the future. So hang tight. Even though things may seem overwhelming at times, Saturn will give you your just rewards. And also, transiting Rahu and Ketu will continue to remain in your second and eighth house axis until May 29th of 2025. And this is going to put a big emphasis on your money and finances. You will find that money will come in, but you will be working extremely hard in order to get that money. And this can mean that you're working extremely long hours at work or doing something extremely hard and strenuous in order to make that money. Remember, Rahu will give you big gains, but it does come with a huge price tag. Now, ever since last November, there could have been some issues that your in-laws may have been dealing with, and as a result, they could have been needing your attention lately. This could have also been some issues with joint assets or that your spouse or business partners haven't been doing so well financially. But the good news is that since transiting Jupiter will be aspecting this eighth house, things will start to improve as long as you take a spiritual and philosophical approach when it comes to dealing with your in-laws and joint assets. You will see some improvement in your in-law situation as well as your joint assets. This is also a great transit for getting deeply involved with studying the metaphysical sciences or things that are beyond this world. And the final transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Mars will be in your third house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to give you tremendous drive, willpower, energy like you've never had before. You will have the motivation and ambition to really get things done and achieve your goals. So if there are things that you have been putting off, then this month and transit will be an excellent opportunity for you to get things done. This is also a transit where I seek protection around your relationships with younger siblings. Even though Mars in the third house can cause disagreements and aggression, you will still have the opportunity to resolve conflicts in a healthy way so that you all can move forward. And if you're thinking about publishing any short stories, articles, then this transit has the potential to help. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Pisces, then the first important transit that's going to be occurring this month of June 2024 is that there will be a stellium of planets going over your third house of Taurus from June 1st to the 11th. We will have transiting Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun all going into your third house, and this is going to really put a big focus and emphasis on your younger siblings, short distance travels, and any social media pursuits that you're working on. You will find yourself getting along with your younger siblings quite well during this transit, and you will feel a lot more connected to each other. If you plan on taking any short distance trips, then for the most part, these trips will turn out to be very fruitful for you. And you may find yourself becoming more noticed in social media if that's what you're focusing on. However, because Venus will be combust this transit, you may have to put in extra effort and work in order to achieve the results that you desire. So make sure you keep that in mind. Then from June 14th to the 28th, transiting Mercury, Venus, and the Sun will be in your fourth house of Gemini. And this is going to put an emphasis on your home, domestic life, mother, real estate, and any vehicles that you have. You will find yourself more in communication with your mother and other family members in your home for the next 2 weeks. However, because Venus will combust the sun during this transit, please be careful that the communication and conversations don't turn into major arguments. Just make sure you understand each other's point of view and you should be okay. Also, this is a great transit to pay extra attention to your maintenance in your cars and home. Now, the next important transit that I would like to discuss is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your 12th house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this transit is going to continue to provide opportunities to resolve any past issues or hurts that may have been bothering you throughout your life. You will also need to continue to be very careful with any expenses that come your way. Make sure you do a good job when it comes to managing your money and finances. However, I feel that any expenses that do come your way this year will be for a good cause for the most part because Saturn is in its own multiple sign. Also, make sure you get enough proper sleep as you can be facing some sleep issues with this transit. Now, the next transit I would like to discuss is that transiting Rahu and Ketu will continue to be in your first and seventh house axis until May 29th of 2025. And this has caused and motivated you to focus more on yourself and your own self-development. You have been putting yourself first, and truth be told, you do need to put yourself first because as a Pisces person, you tend to be overly compassionate and sensitive towards others. You may have also been noticed by others more in whatever you're doing. And this could be a good or bad thing depending on who's watching and what your actions are. So make sure whatever actions you're taking, it's for the highest good and that you have good intentions. Now, ever since last November, you may have felt quite disconnected in your relationships due to Ketu in your seventh house. Some of you may have had a disappointing breakup, or you discovered something about your significant other or business partners that made you upset. But whatever the case may be, there was a sense of discontent in relationships. But the good news is that transiting Jupiter will now aspect your seventh house for the next year. And this is going to alleviate some of the difficulties that you may have been dealing with in relationships. As long as you take a spiritual and philosophical approach, you will start coming into understanding as to why certain things are not working out the way you'd like. And this will feel freeing and liberating. For some of you, this can potentially open the door for a new relationship. Now, the final transit I would like to discuss is that Mars will be in your second house of Aries this entire month. And this is going to really make you speak whatever it is that's on your mind. This is a transit where I don't see any of you holding back. And while it is an extremely good thing to be assertive and speak what's on your mind, just be careful that you don't come across too harsh or aggressive where your words get misinterpreted based on your tone. This is also a transit where I do see you taking charge when it comes to your finances. You're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that your financial situation is in order. However, because it is Mars transiting in the second house, there can be some temptations to spend money as you get it. So just be careful you're not overdoing this. So this is what I wanted to cover regarding the June 2024 predictions for each of the ascendants and moon signs. I hope you got something out of this. Once again, if you found this video to be useful, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button. Doing so will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm so this video can reach a vast audience. Also, if you're new to my channel and would like to see similar videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on that bell notification. And if you would like to know more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer, then please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.